just a genuine friendship that I saw both in our conference meetings and also in our private meetings. And it's in that spirit that I very much welcome you to Jerusalem in these days of destiny. We're changing the face of the Middle East. I have to say, I was going to say, bring your family next year in Jerusalem, but welcome this year in Jerusalem, our great friend, JD Vance.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and thanks to your entire team for your hospitality and for having us. As the Prime Minister said, these are days of destiny, and we're very excited to sit down and work together on the Gaza peace plan. We have a very, very tough task ahead of us, which is to disarm Hamas, but rebuild Gaza to make life better for the people in Gaza, but also to ensure that Hamas is no longer a threat to our friends in Israel. That's not easy. I think the Prime Minister knows that as well as anybody, but it's something that we're committed to in the Trump administration. And I think that we've, even in the past 24 hours, had a lot of good conversations with our friends in the Israeli government, but also, frankly, with our friends in the Arab world who are stepping up and volunteering to play a very positive role in this. So we're going to keep working at it. I didn't know what to expect, honestly. I know the President was here a week ago to welcome the hostages home and actually sign the deal a week into it. There's a lot of work to do.
And not in the media that Israel is becoming some kind of vassal state or protectorate of the United States, not only advising it what to do, but also commanding what to do. Why do you both comment on that? And also another comment on, will you allow Prime Minister Turkish security personnel to get inside Gaza?
Well, I want to put it very clearly. 1 week they say that Israel controls the United States. A week later they say the United States controls Israel. This is hogwash. We have a partnership, an alliance of partners who share common values and common goals. We can have discussions, we can have disagreements here and there, but on the whole, I have to say that in the past year we've had agreement, not only on goals, but how to reach them. And I think we're pursuing them successfully. We've been able to do two things: put the knife at Hamas's throat. That was the military effort guided by Israel. And the other effort was to isolate Hamas in the Arab and Muslim world, which I think the President did brilliantly with his team. So those two things produced the hostages. Nobody believed we'd get them out. It was done by a cooperative effort. On the Turks, on the question of the Turks. I think, let me quote the Vice President from yesterday. He said that I have very strong opinions on that. And he also said, we have to do it with, Israel will be obviously decide together on who does that. So I have very strong opinions about that. You want to guess what they are? Yeah, you know them. Okay.
I want to, guys, for a second. I want to address that. So, look, we don't want in Israel. We don't want a vassal state, and that's not what Israel is. We don't want a client state, and that's not what Israel is. We want a partnership. We want an ally here. And the President believes very strongly that if Israel honestly, with our Gulf Arab allies, can play a very positive leadership role in this region, to where, frankly, the United States can care less about the Middle East because our allies in the region are stepping up and taking control and taking ownership of their area of the world. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have interests here. That doesn't mean we don't care about what happens here. But we actually see this as an opportunity to build on the Abraham Accords. I think this Gaza deal is a critical piece of unlocking the Abraham Accords, but what it could allow is an alliance structure in the Middle East that perseveres, that endures, and that allows the good people in this region of the world to step up and take ownership of their own backyard. That's in the United States' best interest. I happen to think that it's in Israel's best interest too.
Excuse me, we're not taking any more questions from the foreign press. One more and that's it, just to be fresh. Please.
President Vance, you say that the ceasefire isn't on the verge of collapse, but why is it that the President said Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, now yourself, and then Secretary of State Marco Rubio to Israel this week, if that's not the case? And if I could, you said that there were joint agreements between the two of you today. Could you please explain what those were?
Well, to answer your question, look, this thing takes monitoring and it's going to take a lot of work. I was in the CMCC, which we opened up yesterday. A lot of our Israeli friends working together with a lot of Americans to actually mediate this entire ceasefire process, to get some of the critical infrastructure off the ground, from the international security force to some of the reconstruction in Gaza. It's not easy. I never said it was easy, but what I am is optimistic that the ceasefire is going to hold and that we can actually build a better future in the entire Middle East. But that requires some work. So it's not about monitoring in the sense of, you monitor a toddler. It's about monitoring in the sense that there's a lot of work, a lot of good people who are doing that work, and it's important for the principals in the administration to keep on ensuring that our people are doing what we need them to do.
Mr. Vice President, how do you ensure Prime Minister, do you want to answer, please?
Comment on the foreign countries not willing to send troops to Gaza, afraid of Hamas?
Please let the Prime Minister answer the question.
The first thing I'd say is, relative to the previous question, is that when it comes to Israel's security, we do what we have to do. That's always the case. That's not a question. But America has an interest in a strong Israel.